This is another image I came across while searching for inspiration. You may have seen this sort of color wheel before, with circular slices, maybe with a bit of space in between, maybe not meeting in the middle. So let's see how we can do this. First of all, we have 10 slices in the HTML, no JS. And in the CSS, first of all, we're going to set the diameter of the circles that these slices are a part of. And we set this in viewport units so that it scales nicely. So the width is equal to the slice diameter. And the height is the exact same thing. So height here. And we also set a background so that we can see stuff. So background red. Okay, now we're also going to set a border radius. Border radius 50% so that everything is round. And now we're going to position them absolutely. Position absolute. And we're going to set them at top 50%, and the same thing for left. But we want this to be exactly in the middle vertically. So first of all, we're going to compute a radius, which is going to be half the diameter. So 0.5 the diameter. Okay, so now we're going to subtract the radius from here. So we're going to have this calc and minus the radius, and we need to interpolate it because we're using SAS. Okay, it's in the middle vertically. We don't want it in the middle horizontally because we're going to set the transform origin to its left middle. So that's 0, 50%, and it's going to rotate around its left center point. And now we're going to set the transform, which is going to be rotate, and we're going to be using a custom property here, which is going to be an angle A. So now what we need to do is set the number of such elements, which is going to be 10, the same as in the HTML structure, and a base positioning angle, which is going to be 360 over n. And normally I'd use degrees, but I'm going to show you just in a bit why not use degrees. So since I'm not going to be using degrees, I'm going to be using calc here. So calc times 1 degree. Okay, now here I'm going to set in a loop from 1 to n because I don't need to set a rotation for all of them. And I'm going to have nth child. I don't need to rotate the first or the last. So nth child, sorry, I need to interpolate I here. And here I'm going to have A, which is going to be I times the positioning angle. So remember, this is going to be unitless. And then I can set this background to an HSL value that uses this angle for the hue. And I'm going to have 91% for the saturation, 57% for the lightness, whatever. But this doesn't work in SAS because the SAS HSL function cannot accept a CSS custom property. So I need to use the CSS HSL function. And the way I do that is by putting calc inside. So what I'm going to do is take this and put it in here and remove the degree, which is the main reason why I didn't use degrees here, because I don't want a unit in here. So this works with degrees for I have one extra parenthesis there. It works with degrees for the HSL SAS function, but not for the HSL CSS function. So here I need to set a default value. Okay, this looks better, closer to what we want. But what we really want here is a radial gradient. So this is going to be a radial gradient from transparent to this HSL value. And there is no way that I know of that you can use this HSL value inside the gradient. So we're going to use current color and we're going to set this to color. And by the way, this still doesn't work because I need capital C here. It works without a capital C as a background color. It works as color, but inside the gradient when using SAS, nope, needs capital C. Okay, these circles, these radial gradients, are not centered in the middle of the elements. They are we're going to set some dummy coordinates here, and we're also going to set some stops, and here it's going to be the radius, and here it's going to be 0, so that we have a sharp transition. But these coordinates are not 0, 0. They're going to be x and y. So let's compute this x and y. So x is going to be the slice radius times cosine, and this would be the positioning angle if we had degrees here. But since it's unitless, it's taken to be radians, so we need a degree value. We could also use radians, but it also involves conversions, so whatever. It feels simpler this way. Positioning angle times 1 degree, and we have to multiply with 1 degree twice, but whatever, it's not going to be twice in the generated CSS. So it's going to be the degree angle here, and the same thing for the y, except here we're going to have sine, and it's not actually multiplication. I don't know why I wrote it like that. And here we're going to have to add this radius before. So we have the shape we want, and if we want a bit of space in between them, we need to multiply with something slightly bigger than 1.1, sorry. 0.5, yeah, this is better. Okay, now if we want them not to meet at the same point in the middle, we can have a positioning radius, which is going to be 0.6 of the slice radius, and we're also going to have a positioning origin, which is going to be the slice radius minus the positioning radius, and here we're going to replace with the positioning radius, and here we're going to need to offset it by the positioning origin. And the same thing for the transform origin, we need to use the positioning origin here. And again, you can see that it's not, the whole thing is not in the middle anymore, so we need to fix the offset. Calc 50% minus the positioning origin. Okay, so now everything is in the middle, and the nice thing is that in between those spaces, they're transparent. If we set a background image on the HTML, so we're going to have something like this, background URL, and it's going to be in the middle, and it's going to cover the entire HTML element, which let's make full height 100%, and let's take this image from here and paste it here, and let's use a background color which is going to be a very light yellow, and let's set background blend mode to luminosity, I think. Yeah, this works. And if the edges don't look nice, because sometimes they don't with the radial gradients and chrome, we can use a filter. So filter, and this is going to be a drop shadow, which is going to be 0, 0 offset, 2 pixels, blur, and current color. And we can just take this and copy paste it, and use a bigger blur here, and use something like black instead of the current color, and it looks nicely now, and it scales with the viewport, which is great. So this was it for today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have any other ideas about other stuff I should code, just drop them in the comments or on Twitter, and until next time.